The following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Hi, my name is Leo Connors and welcome to The Ring and All Other Sports. Tonight, I got a special guest making his return, Channing Thomas.
Pleasure to be here.
Natural
Channing Thomas.
Yes.
And Leo.
Yes.
I'm in the giving season, so I brought you a present.
Oh, yes.
A natural Channing Thomas 8x10, and I'll sign it for you too, right here on
air. I'll put it right in my office at work.
There you go. First signed 8x10 of 2021.
Nice.
For you.
I really appreciate that. That's awesome. Not many people bring me gifts. I've had a few gifts in the past. But I haven't had a gift in a long time, so thank you very much.
More gifts just for you. Since you're sharing the gift of Channing Thomas to all your fans.
All right. I've been dying to have you on since you were on the first time.
Yeah.
So. All right, let's get into it. I have a lot of fan questions, but I think I want to talk to you about how you had said you went overseas, and we didn't get a chance to talk about that when you were on last time. So could you take us through how all that works?
Absolutely. Right. So I went to London, England for a promotion called LDN Wrestling, and we did a 10-day tour. That was in May of 2019. So I went with Insanely Rude, Zane Bernardo, and RJ Rude. TJ Crawford, who I don't know if you know.
I do.
He's a New Jersey guy.
Yes. Creative Pro.
Yes, Creative Pro. And American Murder Society, those are from like Pro Wrestling Magic.
Okay.
Those guys, so they came for half of the tour, and then like the other three of us went for the full 10 days.
Nice.
So basically what happened was the promoter over there, Sanjay Baga, put out like a little feeler message just on Facebook.
Right.
And I actually met someone who used to work for LDN at an Elkamania show like 2 or 3 years ago. Nice. Tex Benedict.
Okay.
Yes. So he put me in contact with Sanjay, and I sent all my stuff over to Sanjay, and Sanjay really liked my look. He liked how I wrestled. So he said, I'd love to have you aboard. So I went to, that was in December. I did a flight. I'd flied out to London. It's the first time I've ever left, not the country, but the first time I've ever left like the continent, because I've been to Canada and stuff like that. So we wrestled twice a night.
Wow.
10 days. So you do like it's a very small show. Like, not like, probably only about 6, 7, 8 guys on the show, no more than that.
Right.
We would wrestle 10 days, 2 times a night. So they do like a singles match.
Right.
And then they do like a tag match.
Oh, cool.
And one of the best nights, and I believe the place was Clacton. It was a beautiful, beautiful hall.
Okay.
Me, TJ, Zane, and RJ Rude kind of did like a main event tag match, and it was one of the first times they had like Americans, like fully like only Americans,
right.
main event, and we like just tore the house down. It was a lot of fun. So 10 days, it's grueling, grueling work. It can tax your body if you're not like well conditioned enough or anything like that. But we're all great athletes, so we did well over there. And we also got to see some of the sites. Like 2 of the days we didn't wrestle, we went to Thorpe Park, which has one of the first ever like 7 corkscrew roller coasters.
Oh, wow.
It insane. Yeah. And then we saw Big Ben the other day, which was awesome.
Yeah.
So
that's pretty cool.
It was a lot of fun.
You didn't mess with the gods or anything, right?
No.
So many people do it. It's like crazy.
No, we had respect for them.
Now, the shows, was any of them in like pubs, or were they all like lit other buildings?
They were all kind of like halls.
Okay.
There was one that was in like it was almost like a church, but it wasn't a church anymore.
Right.
So that was like that was pretty cool. But a lot of like kind of like school theaters.
Right.
Like there was a lot like where it was just like the ring, and it was almost like kind of a stage instead of like, you know, how 4 sides have fans. It was almost just like one side of fans just all looking at you. So yeah, I mean, it was awesome. The crowds, like, they are insane over there. Like, it was all like families and little kids.
Yeah.
They are insane. So some of the drives were like 2.5 hours out. So we'd all hop in a van and we'd like drive, we'd get food, and then we'd hop in the road, and like it was just a lot of like bonding and just messing around, goofing around on the road. Yeah, it was awesome.
So now every night, like when you would leave, like where you were staying, you would get in the van, you'd go wrestle. Would you come back there, or would you stay somewhere?
Yeah, we kind of had like a base.
Okay.
I would say throughout the week they put us in a hotel.
Okay.
All four of us, and we would all like me, TJ, Zane, and RJ would all kind of like we'd all go to the gym together.
Right.
Some nights we went out, went to the pubs, had some fun. Good times. And then the other weekends, like the 2 weekends that we were there,
Right.
we stayed with either the wrestler or Sanjay. So
Cool.
yeah, we stayed with the champion. Me and TJ stayed with the champion, Alan Travis. He's an awesome guy.
Yeah.
Great guy. Yeah.
Nice.
So thank you for opening up your house, Alan and Sanjay.
That's a very cool trip, huh?
Yeah.
And like I said, I'd love to hear if you ever go on more. You can come back on the show and tell us about more stuff.
Well, I'm planning one. I was planning one for this kind of like right now was my in like February or March.
Right.
I caught wind of the WXW Wrestling Academy, which is in Germany, Essex, Germany. And that's trained, like the head trainer there is Walter and all like the kind of Imperium guys, the Walter from NXT UK.
Yes.
So you can do like a month stay there.
Oh, wow.
And what you do is you fly yourself out, and you can like, they have like an apartment attached to the
dojo?
Yes, attached to the dojo.
Very smart of anyone that does that. It's very smart to bring guys over.
Yes. So there's like an 8-bedroom apartment with like bunch of wrestling DVDs, like in-house laundry, just like stuff so you can kind of live there and you don't really have to go out.
Right.
And you can train 7 days a week over there.
Wow.
So my plan originally was to go around this time, like January 2021, but obviously,
It's too bad.
yeah, but so the
You're
goal.
still young.
Yes. So the goal right now is to kind of, for like hoping for maybe this time next year.
Right.
If everything's kind of going well and,
Nice.
hopefully with all the vaccine, we can get get out there.
I don't even know if we want to talk about that. What have you been doing? Like, honestly, I know you've done some work for Limitless.
Yes.
And I definitely want to talk to you about your tag team that you're in with BRG.
Oh, perfect.
Because, man, I like both you guys a lot. So
Perfect.
But I lost my train of thought there for a second. But how about this? We'll go right to your tag team, the Prestige.
Okay. Yeah. So me and Brett, we kind of always seen eye to eye. Like we've tagged before, but never like anything official. And we've always kind of just like, we've kind of had each other's backs. We're the same age.
Right.
Kind of came in at around the same time. And we both kind of started in one place and then ended up at like Ryan Drew's school.
Okay.
So we can kind of both relate to the coming from like not starting there.
Right.
But like Brett's always been a really good friend of mine.
Yep.
So we've been kind of mulling around with this idea of tagging for the past couple months. And Randy Carver was like, after we did the last tape and not the Vacation Link Cup,
Okay.
me and Brett took photos in our suits just because we were like, let's get something just in case. And Randy loved it. He loves the idea of me and Brett tagging. And
He's a smart guy.
yeah, exactly. So me and Brett are like, oh yeah, absolutely. We're going to jump on this opportunity. So Brett's got to put in a little bit more work. I'm not going to lie. He's got to hit the gym. He's got to eat a little bit more right. But me and him, we FaceTime like 2-3 times a week. We watch matches together. We just we watch a lot of like Midnight Express, Brainbusters, Rockers, stuff like that. We kind of like have a similar eye for the psychology of wrestling and how we want to present ourselves.
Right.
So we can we relate on that a lot. And me and Brett, the sky's the limit.
I agree with you on that. And I will say this about him. He's a great kid. I met him.
Mm-hmm.
He was on the show just through Skype. I would have loved to have had him in the studio. He's a hockey fan. I'm a huge hockey fan. Hockey starts this week.
He's a Canadians fan, though.
That's the only thing I was going to get to. I was going to be like, he's a Canadians fan. But I respect him for he loves who he loves.
Yeah.
And he's a great kid.
Yeah. I mean, like, sky's the limit. That's all we can really think.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I'd love to see Beyond use you guys too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I think there's plenty of places that will use you guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I worked for, I did Northeast Wrestling Studio tapings on High Spots a few months ago. They haven't had any more, but BRG has wrestled for Northeast Wrestling, so we're hoping maybe we can parlay something there.
Right. We
talk about all these like dream places that we have too, so we're
That's
just
cool.
Yeah, we kind of know what we want. We have similar goals.
And a little bit different dynamic, how you like a lot of tag teams, they try to be like the same.
No.
And you guys are totally different. You can tell just by looking at you.
Yeah, I mean, I put in the work. Come on.
Yeah. You're bigger.
Yeah, but Brett knows his size, and he knows how to.
Yes.
I mean, he knows how to get a reaction. He's a loudmouth.
Gets under people's skin easily. He's good at that.
And that's good because it's like I'm not as big as a loudmouth as Brett, and he kind of brings it out of me, so to speak. So I'm really like looking forward to like working more with him.
Excellent. Seeing we're talking about Limitless, you know, they've been doing some great things for a long time. The new champ,
Christian Casanova. Top talent. What can you say?
Right?
I mean, Christian's great. I've gotten the chance to kind of like practice with him. I've been going to the Kingdom School in Rhode Island a little bit too, you know, Ryan Drew lineage. So, and Christian goes down there and like we get to train with like Taven and Vincent when he, like, they don't see eye to eye, but.
Right.
Well, like.
They must do different things. Different guys in different corners.
Different days, exactly. Yeah. But, you know, I get to see Christian, and let me tell you, nobody works harder than that guy.
Right. Nice.
I mean,
there's no doubt. He's over this pandemic. He's worked on his legs.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I mean, he would have been the first to admit he was fairly on the skinny side with his legs, but they ain't that skinny anymore. He looks like $1 million.
$1 billion.
$1 billion. There you go.
I mean, people talk about all the time, why isn't he on TV yet?
It's amazing. He will be.
Yeah, of course.
He will be.
Of course.
And I think you will be someday too. I really do.
Thank you.
That's not just saying that. I'm not afraid to tell people who I think we're going to get there. And there's another kid I'd like to bring up right now. Alec Price. We talked about him on the first time.
Oh my God. Speaking of loudmouths.
Loudmouth. But I got to say, he's been doing some great things too.
Absolutely. And he, I mean, when you say skinnier side, he was a twig.
Right.
I mean, he's more like a stick now, not a twig, but a little bit bigger than, not quite the branch, the full tree branch, but you know, he's working hard. He loves his prison workouts. I've talked to him all the time.
His what?
Prison workouts.
What's the prison workout?
Come on, Prize City prison workouts.
I've never even heard of that.
Well, you know, you're in prison, you don't got access to a gym.
Right, so you do a lot of push-ups,
squats, sit-ups, pull-ups, you know. You got to get bigger somehow.
I've never heard that.
I mean, well, that's what I've been kind of doing too. Just like throughout the pandemic, you know, I haven't been in a gym since probably like February or March.
Right.
And me and my dad, we built a pull-up bar outside. I bought a bench.
Yes.
And, you know, I just kind of like hit the basics, like push-ups, pull-ups, squats, you know, I bought some bands, try and do different things with bands, different movements. Just because, you know, I don't know when I'm going back to a gym because I kind of love what I'm doing right now. You know, it's so much easier to work out at home. It takes like 20, you don't have to drive.
Right.
You can just go right at it. There's really no excuses to skip it. So I'll probably be doing it after I get out of here.
Well, the prison workout, did Alec teach you that after you got out of juvie or something? Just kidding, Alec. He's a great kid.
Maybe he learned it in juvie because I didn't teach him anything like that. He just came up to me one day and like I was texting him on the phone and he was like, "Yo, bro, I'm doing prison workouts, bro."
But there was a whole bunch of other words in there, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. Momo and whatever Alec is saying. I can't even understand the kid half the time, but he's good. He's a good kid.
I seen him. I didn't think I talked to you about this, but when he got to debut at Beyond, I had been going like every 2 or 3 weeks. I wasn't going consistently, and if I wouldn't have been there the night him and CJ had that match, I would have been pissed off.
Well, they had one at Limitless too, and I think that kind of like
that helped them out.
I mean, that was kind of like they had it at Limitless.
Right.
They were having a big feud at Let's Wrestle, which is like the Orono version.
Yes.
Kind of like some more local guys can get on it, get some experience, some students and stuff like that. And they were just doing this like last man standing match, big feud. And like, it was just so hot that like Randy was like, "Yo, we got to bring this on to like Limitless." Yeah. And we're like, Alec was like, "Absolutely." And they just shined. Like they killed it that night. And that kind of parlayed into Alec getting more like, more kind of opponents at Limitless.
Yep.
And like his just like personality came out and like, you know, he's scrawny. We talked about it, but he's a loudmouth and he's probably, he's got the mouth of a guy that weighs like 275, just
easy,
juiced to the gills.
Yeah,
and he's like 170 maybe.
Yeah.
And like he's going up against people like Jake something from Impact. He had like a great like 2 out of 3 kind of iron, 2 out of 3 rubber match with Ace Romero. Just another guy who's just massive, tossing Alec around.
Yep.
And I was watching
even with all the weight, Ace is lost.
Yeah, I mean, he's just throwing Alec.
I can imagine.
I was watching like this match between him and Ace. I was watching the Vacation Land Cup, and I was like, dude, Alec is just getting tossed around. He's getting killed out there. And then it struck me. It's like, that's what is so fun, because you get to just watch this loudmouth jerk get absolutely what's coming to him. And he gets it all the time. He gets killed. It's great. It's great.
He's said some colorful words on here before, so I think when he comes back on and he talks about you, I have a feeling he might throw some of them choice words in there.
That's fine. That's fine. I've been on the road with him. We go to big time. We would drive up to Maine sometimes. We drive up to Maine for Limitless too. And it's just like, he is just nonstop, like annoying.
He's very loud. He loves to talk. He's like me.
Yeah, I mean, he's like
I love to talk.
He's like a little brother, and you just kind of want to give him one every once in a while. But you know, he'll give you one right back. He has no problem with it.
Absolutely. And born and raised in Southie, lives at Eastie. But if I'm not mistaken, he grew up in Southie. Or was born in Southie, at least. I know that.
Okay, I don't know. I thought he was Eastie his entire life.
Yeah, well, maybe. I know he was born in Southie. I do remember that because I lived in Southie for 5-6 years back in the day.
So you guys talked about it?
Yeah.
Prize City, it has no limits, you know?
Right. All right, listen, let's get into some fan questions.
Okay.
All right.
Absolutely.
First one's not really a question. It's from Amy DeBona. And Amy, condolences on the loss of your mother.
Condolences.
Over the weekend. She just wanted me to tell you he is one of my favorite wrestlers.
I should be everybody's favorite wrestler, Amy.
There you go.
Thank you. Smart choice.
Yes. Dan Bolio, how is working for Limitless?
Oh.
He loves, just so you know, too, I love it, but he's a diehard Limitless fanatic. Loves it.
I love it. Randy is just so passionate about the product, and he's so passionate about wrestling, and he has so many like ideas for everyone, and it's just great to see.
That's awesome.
I love working for Limitless. I love working for Let's Wrestle. Hopefully when the pandemic ends and like fans can come back, me and BRG can get some matches on Limitless, because those crowds, I've been to those Limitless shows. I went to the Portland Expo. I've gone to the Yarmouth shows. Those crowds are insane. Yeah. And they are awesome to wrestle in front of. And Limitless has a tag team championship belt coming to fruition soon. So
nice.
And it looks just pretty prestigious, if you ask me.
Yeah, excellent, excellent. All right, Scott Beckman, what have you done with all your extra downtime since COVID started?
So, like I said, a lot of just studying tape of wrestling, tons and tons of just studying tape. I love watching like any sort of wrestling. Right. Like I love World of Sport. Yep. I love the mid 2000s WWE. That's what I grew up on. So it's probably my favorite. Like I'll watch Japan, I'll watch the 80s Southern, I'll watch anything. I'll watch like 50s, doesn't matter. Right. So just tons of watching wrestling, and then working out. Yeah. Absolutely gotta work out. I do it 4 times a week, and the days that I don't work out, I skip jump rope, because I also grew up a boxing fan. I'm a huge boxing fan. Too. So I'll just like pretend I'm Mike Tyson or pretend I'm Muhammad Ali skipping jump rope. Nice. And so, and then I've been training too. I'm very thankful that I've been able to have the chance to train. Right. So like I've said, I've been down at XWA. Yep. We've been doing some non-contact stuff at the top rope school. Yep. We have like a dummy, so we're able to do suplex throws and stuff like that. So I've been really fortunate to kind of come back and rein in on the fundamentals. Right. So that's been a lot of fun. Excellent. All right. So he has a follow-up. What are 3 goals, don't have to be all wrestling related, that Channing Thomas has set for 2021? So first and foremost, I start my master degree. Oh, nice. I'm going for my master's in project management, and that starts in about a week and a half. So that's probably my main goal right now. 1 class at a time. There's no reason to rush it. Right. But that's probably my biggest goal. My second biggest goal is definitely getting back overseas. Right. Because you got to travel. Yep. It's one of like the most important foundations of wrestling, is like getting out of your comfort zone, leaving the bird's nest. You got to do it.
Yep.
A lot of people, if you ask them what their biggest goal in wrestling is, it's to get like signed by a major company.
Right.
But really, you got to fall in love with doing the things that lead to that.
Right.
You got to eat right. You got to eat clean. You got to work out, and you got to travel because you got to get that experience. So those are probably my main goals right now. Just school, professional life, and wrestling is just really just focusing on traveling and training.
Nice. Excellent. All right. Hold on. Okay. This is from Scott too. Leo, I know I'm a little late on this, but congrats from Brogan and I on 200 episodes and Merry Christmas. Thank you very much, Scott. I appreciate it. And Brogan, as this was going to be 3 days after Christmas, remember?
Yeah,
so
yes.
then you had, all right. So that's why that was in there, guys. All right. Adam Barber.
Adam, yeah.
That's his name, right?
I believe
It
so.
looks like that.
All right.
That's what I wrote. What's up with the new hair?
Oh man, the curly locks. Well, first and foremost, the girls love it.
Right. Oh, I believe that.
I get comments. I'll go to the grocery store and it's like, oh my God, I love your hair. It's so curly. I wish my hair was like that. And I give them a little.
Right.
And second, you just had, my hair was so short. I've always had short hair my entire life. I never really grew it out.
Right.
And I'm just kind of experimenting. There's nothing really going on right now.
Right.
Just with things going on. So I figured, why not grow my hair out? And I love it.
Nice.
My mom says get a haircut, but that's never happening.
Yeah. When I was a kid, I used to have hair like a big bush. So I don't know if you ever see. I post a picture from the high school back in the day.
Oh,
it's
man.
like I got this big fro.
Well, I want to have. I don't think I'm ever gonna do it, but I would love to have like Davy Boy Smith braids.
Oh, nice. Like Eddie Edwards used to do.
Yes. Eddie Edwards and Mikey Webb both had them too.
That's right. Mikey Webb did too.
I think it's so awesome. Just like,
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
That's maybe a lofty goal. We'll
Right.
see. I kind of like where it's at right now, just short enough, but
Right.
not too short. So we'll see.
And it's always good to change your look up anyways in wrestling, isn't it?
Top Rope was lucky enough to have a Gabe Spikulski. Gabe.
Oh, Gabe. Yeah. I
Yeah.
know
So he did an online seminar.
Gabe. Okay.
And so we all were doing like seminars through Zoom and stuff like that. And obviously he did this from the gracious of his heart. He was doing it for free.
Right.
Just wanted to share some knowledge that he's learned, share some knowledge that he's gotten from WWE because he's a producer over at WWE.
And he worked for ECW. He was Paul's right-hand man.
ECW, Ring of Honor, Evolve, WWE, and I believe
Dragon Gate.
Yes, Dragon Gate USA.
Yeah.
Which Drew worked for, I believe, at one point.
Oh,
okay. When they did Fall River. And also, I think he has a new show coming up, kind of like almost like a Making It. I feel like that's how it might be described. It's like a developmental for NXT because NXT is kind of bigger now.
Right. Yeah.
But we were lucky enough to kind of do a seminar with him. And one of the big things he mentioned about Daniel Bryan was he never kind of stayed stagnant. He was always kind of changing things up, but not like changing things so much that it's not Daniel Bryan anymore.
Right.
Like sometimes it's a long jacket, sometimes it's a short jacket, sometimes it's no jacket. Grow the hair, grow the beard.
I was going to say, they took his hair off.
Yep, shave the head, shave the beard.
Yeah.
I mean, he does it in WWE all the time.
Right.
Just changes things up,
Yep.
just very littly, just tiny.
Right.
But just to give something fresh and not so stale, so it doesn't become stale, because you don't want to be stale. You want to be able to kind of give something the fans maybe haven't seen yet, or something new that they're like, be like, oh, that guy changed a little bit. Like, I kind of want to see what else he's going to do, like what he's going to do next, because you can't become too predictable.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
And as Daniel Bryan, someone that you try to watch a lot of or have watched a lot for the past.
Absolutely.
'Cause,
Daniel,
the matches he's had since 2002 are unbelievable.
yeah, I'm best in the world. He is one of the best in the world.
Absolutely.
And he's been doing it for the past 18 years.
Yeah.
Like Ring of Honor, WWE. I really enjoy his early WWE stuff too.
Yeah,
like
that was really good.
Like the early 2010s.
Yep.
That was, Daniel Bryan's been on the top of the wrestling game for like 20 years.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy. And probably he'll be on for like 20 more too.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Because he's easily one of my favorite wrestlers. I got to meet him years ago when I did the catering thing.
Yeah.
And McCheese is probably going to go off and say that I did that.
I thought he retired.
I don't know. He says he retired. I still think I know who it is. But, all right. Next question is, nope, it's from Adam still. Will we see a return to the blonde?
I can't rule it
Girls
out.
must have liked that too a little bit, yeah?
They did.
I was gonna
They
say,
loved it.
right.
I can't rule it out.
Right.
But right now, the luscious locks are going to just be just enough.
All right. All right. Next question. Joey Eastman. Did he buy any new suits?
Oh, Mr. Eastman. Joe Eastman, I would love to get on your level. I would love to get on Sidney Bacabella's.
Oh, yeah. Who's that? I think he's friends of Joey's.
Yes, your friend Joe Eastman.
Yes.
I would love to get on Sidney Bacabella's like suit list because whatever he's wearing, I want it. But I do have this nice burgundy suit. I love it. It's one of my favorites. I got more in the closet. I got a tan one. I got a blue one.
Burgundy does look good though.
I think it's my favorite color.
Nice.
So we have some more. They're just on the bench for now.
Yeah, I'm working on getting Sidney back in. I don't know if you know, but Dick, my producer, threw him out the night he was here.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I had Dave Padula and Flip Gordon in the studio afterwards. I did 2 shows that night. And I'm like, did you see what happened? They're like, yeah. Your producer physically threw Sidney out of the building.
You should have threw him out sooner, honestly.
I'd love to have him back, though. It was just amazing. What was great about it is I'm in the present, and he was... You know, where's Sidney? In Sidney
in the
land.
70s,
Yes.
where he's at the pay window always.
I felt so bad that he didn't know that the Grand Wizard had passed away. I just shedded a tear right here on the set.
You broke his heart, man.
I broke his heart. I
broke
didn't
his
mean
heart.
to. All right. Howardson Davis III, who we know as the Prize's manager.
HD3.
Yes. What's your 5-year plan? Great question.
Good question. So it's kind of just going off of that, like, well, what we talked about earlier with going to Germany. That's step 1.
Okay.
I'd really like to get to Japan after that. That's kind of always been like a goal. It's like the wrestling holy land, in my opinion, Japan. I know some people over there. I know Masha Slamovich has been there for like a year. She's a girl from New York.
Yep.
And it looks like she's just having a blast there, just living in the dojo, living that wrestling life. So Japan is really, hopefully in the next 3 years.
Yeah.
And I'd really like to start doing Ring of Honor tryouts when they come back. And
Nice.
I feel like my end goal right now is just Ring of Honor.
Yep.
I feel like I'm best suited there. I feel like I would fit very well in the Pure tournament. The Pure tournament, I don't know if you watched the Ring of Honor. It was on.
Yeah, I didn't happen to see I wish I did because John Walters wrestled on it.
Yes, he wasn't in the tournament, but he wrestled shortly after.
Yeah, he wrestled Tracy Williams, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, man.
Was it? Right, it was great.
Tracy Williams is on another level. Yeah. And he was in the Pure tournament, and I watched every week. They do 2 matches, 2 Pure rules matches, and they did it for like 8 weeks straight. Wow. And it was some of the best wrestling I've ever seen in my entire life. And I was just like, this is what I want to be. I want to be a Pure wrestler.
And I was around watching Ring of Honor all the time when the Pure title came out.
Yeah.
And John Walters held it. Xavier was in on it. I mean, he ended up, I don't know if you ever seen the feud he had with Xavier, who just passed away like a little over a year ago.
Oh, yeah.
The feud they had was incredible. If you haven't seen it, man, you should look it up. It's really good.
I love that like early 2000s Ring of Honor.
Yes.
Nigel McGuinness is like one of my favorite wrestlers. Yeah. So I'll have to check that out.
You can tell by his style. Your wrestling style.
I mean, he's just like a hard-hitting guy. Like the epitome of like pure wrestling, kind of like almost like a little bit of a throwback to kind of like that 70s, 80s wrestling.
Yep.
I definitely love Nigel McGuinness, and I'll have to check out that feud you mentioned.
Yeah, John Walters and Xavier. All right, Tim Murray. What do you feel is the 11th best promotion in New England? The 11th best?
Probably NCW, I'd have to say.
Okay.
So that was like...
That's where Tim wrestles every time, right?
Yes. That was like a little joke, I guess.
Yeah.
Because JC likes to keep it lighthearted, so one of his shows, he said that he was the 11th best promotion, and someone like really got mad about it or whatever. And I mean, I get it. Like, if you want to be wrestling, the top place, you probably don't want to hear that a place say they're the 11th best promotion. Right. But like, it was a joke. It was sarcasm. It went right over the guy's head. So, that's funny. That's
all right. Stephanie Marie, your favorite wrestler you worked with. And who would you like to work with that you haven't yet? So favorite wrestler that you've already worked.
My favorite wrestler I've ever worked is probably Nico Silva.
Nice.
But I mean, like the first time I wrestled him, I just kind of, we clicked.
Yep.
I felt different in the ring. I felt like almost like I was doing one thing, and I kind of got like, you got to compete with Nico.
Right.
Because he's a competitor. He's a monster.
Yeah.
and he makes you step your game up, because if you want to beat him, you can't be lacking. You need to be bringing your A game. And I felt like whenever I wrestled Nico, I brought my A game.
Yep.
And I would love to I'd love to just give him one more, because I haven't seen him in a while because of the whole COVID thing.
Right.
But I would love to get in the ring with him, and I'd love to just show him that I'm not a kid anymore. Because when I wrestled him, I felt like a boy.
Okay.
I felt like a kid. And now I feel different.
Right.
I feel like a man. I feel like I'm a different wrestler. I present myself differently. And I feel like he would be surprised at me punching him in the mouth right in the early get-goes. And I would love to do it one more time.
Nice. And who that you haven't worked with yet
So-
that you'd like to?
I'm going to cheat here because I wrestled him once.
Yeah.
But it was only like a short little match.
Yep.
But I would love to wrestle Christian Casanova one more time. Him, Red Death from Daniel Garcia. I'd love to wrestle him. Lee Moriarty from...
I've just heard that name a couple weeks ago.
So he wrestled Red Death at at the Vacationland Cup.
Okay.
In the opening rounds. And I'm watching it, and I'm sitting there watching it. I'm like, these guys are legit. These are the guys that I see I can compete with and I can be better than. So I would love to wrestle those three guys and just kind of prove that, like I said, I'm not that little boy anymore. You know, I'm a man.
Nice. Excellent. Todd Graham, tell us about the trip to Europe. We already talked about that, Todd. Thank you. And thoughts on TJ Crawford.
So
One of Creative Pro's best students.
Yes, definitely. Definitely one of Creative Pro's best students. One of Creative Pro's hardest hitting students too.
Okay.
His kicks, insane. Nice. Like he's got to be like a martial artist. I think he may have taken karate at one point.
Okay.
Because he hits hard, he hits fast. He's a little bit on the smaller side.
Packed together.
Yes.
Great body.
He was a little he had like a little bit of chub to him. Like when we were in he looked good in London, but he's like really kind of like kicked it over.
Right.
Because he, like you said, he is just put together, chiseled to the gills, hits hard, hits quick. I'm sure he's hitting harder and quicker nowadays too.
Right.
I'd love to get back in there with him. We've wrestled once. We wrestled once or twice. We wrestled in England, and then we wrestled for Let's Wrestle. And I'd love to just, like I said, I'd love to just prove myself against him again.
Right.
Because he was a tag team partner in England. He was a foe in England, and we've kind of both grown in ways from then, and I would love to get back in there with him.
Nice. And Lee Moriarty, first time I think I heard from him, he wrestled for Game Changer Wrestling. I think that's where I first saw the name. And then I did see that he was wrestling up for Limitless.
Yeah.
So hopefully when I go to a show up there, Randy will bring him back because I'm dying to see him live.
He's good.
Yeah.
He is legit.
All right. From BRG, Brett Ryan Gosselin, how accurate is the CT Source account on Twitter? Who's the CT? That's you.
No, that's not me. I have there's an account out there, a Twitter account. It's not tweeting sources anymore, but for a while, it was tweeting like, sources say Channing Thomas enjoys a peanut butter and jelly with a protein shake.
Right.
Sources say Channing Thomas is having a banger of a match with this guy coming up. And now it's kind of switched over. They stopped doing the sources. I guess the source may have gone away, but now they're doing facts, Chan facts. Oh. So where they just, almost like Mattitude. Do you remember Mattitude?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, almost like that. Now they're just tweeting facts about me, like Channing Thomas has the best smile in professional wrestling. That's a Chan fact.
Yeah.
Chan fact.
You have never had a cavity?
I read
that's
a good one.
Yes.
You remember, I've never had a cavity.
Yep.
Ever in my entire life. I've never had a cavity in this mouth. It's amazing. Hard work. That's all I can say.
My stepdaughter, we talked about before, Nicole, she's never had a cavity either. So when I read that from you, I said, Nikki, come here. And I showed her, and she said, no cavity.
Listen,
it was funny.
It's possible.
Yeah.
You just got to get rid of the sweet tooth.
Yeah.
You got to eat right.
Right.
It's
take care of your teeth.
Take care of your teeth. The smile, this is the moneymaker.
Yes.
This is the moneymaker.
Yep. When I was young, I had nice teeth and got a lot of girls.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know if you remember, but when I first started this show, I was having all kinds of problems in my mouth. I did the show once, and Johnny Cashmere hit me up and said, hey, dude, I just want to let you know, maybe you should do it from the other side. I'm like, Johnny, and he was coming from a good place because I got along really good with Johnny.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, it's either side. So no Don't worry about it.
I
I was surprised nobody picked up and said things about it. I really was. Not once did anybody say anything about it. I was shocked. I expected it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I'm glad like someone was kind of it. It's weird because it's kind of like almost like, is this guy being mean to me, or is he just coming from a good place? But I mean, people are real sensitive about stuff like that.
Well,
so.
I had a great relationship with Trent Acid and Johnny when they worked for ROH. You know what I mean? So I knew I had asked him for some feedback. So when he saw it, he told me that, and I'm like, don't. And then I also the show I showed him.
Yeah.
I had a tank top on, and he also told me that maybe you should lose the tank top. Johnny Cashman, I've lost the tank top. Thank you very much. And I got my teeth fixed.
There we go.
All right. Next question. Oh, I'm sorry. Before I go there, Bo Douglas says, BG, and who is the source? That's the question of the day.
The source remains unknown. You know, good journalists, they never reveal their sources.
Right.
You never go ask Adrian Wojnarowski. You don't ask Ian Rappaport where they heard the breaking news.
Yep.
You just take it at face value and you accept that it's right.
Absolutely. All right, next question from Stephen Lambert. Have you seen any new boots recently, and what were the largest?
Nah, I don't know.
All right, we'll go. Thanks, Stephen. Sorry, buddy. Judge Logan Chambers. Does he still keep up with your air guitar skills? Because if you haven't, man, I could probably beat you. I'm good. I'm great at air guitar.
Oh, I mean, that was, like I said earlier, that was when I was kind of like a different person.
Right.
I was going through some different things. I really didn't know my way in professional wrestling, so I was kind of just going through the motions, doing funny things to kind of get through matches, and now I'm kind of like taking a look. It's fun to kind of take a look back.
Right.
At like, I love bad wrestling, trust me.
Yeah.
So I'll watch any bad match that I've ever had and I'll give it a laugh. And a lot of my bad matches came earlier in like my career when I just didn't have my way.
Right.
And now that I've kind of found my way, it's weird. It's like people never kind of forget something about you.
Right.
Like you're trying to break out or trying to do something different. And people just kind of like to hold you down. But yeah, I don't know. No, I haven't played air guitar in a while, honestly. That's all I can say. I smashed all my air guitars.
All right.
Yeah,
Nice.
I was going nuts on the stage, I guess.
There you go. James Gregory Barrett. Who do you plan to wrestle in your first match? Well, wouldn't that be up to the promoter? I don't just ask. Thanks, James, for the question.
You know, me and Brett, we don't know if this is going to happen, but we would love to wrestle the Prestige, the original Prestige, Matt Magnum and Ryan Waters.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe
I forgot they were. That's right.
So maybe it's kind of like new Midnight Express versus old Midnight Express. Maybe we'll get like two managers and have them do like a tuxedo match or something.
I was going to say Ryan would be a great manager for you.
I
really do. I mean, I forgot about that he was in the Prestige.
Yeah. So, I mean, that would be, we don't know if that's what's going to happen, but that would definitely be a fun first match to kind of come back, you know, because I've only wrestled Drew once.
Right.
And it was at like a fair show outside of Lowell Spinner Stadium.
Oh, okay.
So we did a lot of like hot dogging. Like I gave him a body slam in like the grass across the street in front of a bunch of kids. So it'd be nice to kind of like just have one that's a little bit more serious.
Right.
Yeah. So maybe the Prestige. Maybe Prestige versus Prestige. Who's better?
That would be awesome. Randy, get on that, boy. Or Ryan, get on that. One or the other. All right. Bo Douglas. Before I... Did you watch the show when I had Vern and Dan on?
When was this?
A long time ago, like 2 or 3 years ago. And they said some nasty things about some kid named Timmy Thunder.
Oh, see? That's the thing. It's
you know? And I'm sorry. And yeah, Bo Douglas wants to know, Timmy Thunder and why? Thanks, Bo.
Let me ask Bo a question. Because I was at Bo's.
Yeah.
And when I said, let me be Timmy Thunder, Bo should have been like, no. That's stupid.
Right.
But, you know, we all make mistakes. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know.
Dude, who came up with it? Did you?
Yes, I came up with it.
I'm sorry.
No, it's it's like I don't know. Maybe I wanted to be Thunder Kid because like Dynamite Kid.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What about? Did you watch Thundercats as a kid?
No,
Okay.
a little bit before my time.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why, honestly.
Thanks, Bo. Mike McCarthy. Orange chicken and numbering chairs. I really like these questions.
Yeah, they're very vague.
Because I have absolutely no idea.
For PvP, me and Mike McCarthy, it was
Pioneer Valley, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
One of like the first times I wrestled Mike was at Pioneer Valley Wrestling, and we were on first, and it was like PvP's at the Springfield Mall.
Okay.
So Hammer Tunis is like, "Can you number all these chairs for me?" And I'm like, just completely out of my mind, and I'm numbering the chairs, and it's like 8, 9, 10, and then like by accident I just start going 1, 2, 3, and I did that for like 10 more chairs.
Right.
And Mike just comes up to me and he looks at it and he's like, "What are you doing?" And me and him are wrestling in this match, and he just is like, Mike's out of his mind too.
Right.
So some guy has like orange chicken because it's like in a food court, and he's just screaming about this dude's orange chicken and how he's gonna eat it or something like that. And I'm like, Mike, go get it then.
Right? Don't tell him you will.
I know. If you're hungry, go eat, man.
That's a riot. All right, we got just a couple more questions.
Okay.
Jerry Lane, how have you managed, or how are you able to stay in wrestling shape?
So, like I said,
Yeah.
every other day I'm working out. I'm doing
The Alec Price prison work.
Alec Price prison workouts. I'm jumping rope. I'm looking like Muhammad Ali with the
Nice.
rope. So that's how I'm staying in wrestling shape. And then it's just a lot of sprints.
Yep.
Trying to get in the ring once or twice a week whenever I can. That's just how I'm staying in wrestling shape. I love yoga too.
Yep.
I do like 10 minutes every
Do
other
you do DDP yoga, Rob?
I don't. I never like got into DDP
Yep.
yoga. I just kind of do the stuff that I find on YouTube.
Right.
But a lot of like 10 minutes, 15 minutes of yoga just to kind of keep my joints from like falling apart.
Right.
But yeah, that's it. Yoga, jump rope, and prison workouts,
An Alec
baby.
Price prison workout. All right. Stephen Oliveira. Let's hope he has a better question than his former tag team partner. Just kidding, Stephen. Do you still have the pineapple hat?
No.
No?
No.
All right.
Unfortunately, I think I lost the pineapple hat at a show.
Where did you get the pineapple hat? Might as well ask you that question.
I can't even remember.
Really?
I mean, I just love pineapple. It's the best fruit ever.
Yeah, that's my favorite too.
Sweet tooth for pineapple. So I think I just saw a pineapple hat one day, and I might have bought it just to like have, just not to like wear out. And I was like, oh, I'm wearing this pineapple hat, might as well wear it out. So Timmy Thunder was all about air guitars and pineapple hats.
Excellent. All right. So I do some, I've been trying to change up the show.
Yep.
So I do some different things. Before we get into the name game, I want to just play this games with you. First of all, would you rather travel to Japan to wrestle and make $1,000 a week, or travel to Europe and make $1,200 a week? You've been to Europe, never been to Japan.
I know. Oh man, can I do both?
No, it's would you rather?
Man, I'm gonna have to go with Europe.
Wow,
I mean,
nice. Yep.
both
More money.
more money. That's the most important part.
Right.
Ric Flair's $10,000 robes didn't pay for themselves.
No, they didn't.
But, you know, Japan and Europe both have kind of like a sacred history of wrestling,
Yes.
like World of Sport. Mentioned World of Sport earlier, and obviously New Japan and All Japan and Japan. So they both kind of have like a sacred wrestling history, and you got to take the money, I guess, at that point, right?
Right.
You got to take the money.
Okay. When we talked about you wanting to go to Japan before, you said like you knew people that were over there. And
Yes.
stuff. There's a wrestler. I don't know if you remember a guy named Quiet Storm. He wrestled in the very early Ring of Honor, 2002, 2003. He works overseas. He's been in Japan since probably 2005.
Really?
He lives there.
Huh.
Yeah. Incredible. And the guy's, he's wicked short.
Yeah.
But he's like, from his back, those chest is
Yeah.
huge.
That's, I mean, I know a woman and her kids like went to Japan for just like business for like a few months, and they just never left. There's something about the culture and the place that just attracts people to stay. Like you get there and you just don't want to leave.
Yeah.
So
I definitely would love to go to Japan and watch wrestling.
it's definitely on my bucket list.
Right. All right. So I do another thing. It's called Pick One, Answer Three. So you get your three choices to pick. One of them is music, movie, or TV.
TV.
All right. What's your favorite show?
Breaking Bad.
Nice.
Breaking Bad is my all-time favorite TV show.
Mine too.
Oh, really?
Yes. we could talk. Me and you could probably talk for hours about Breaking Bad.
I have watched Breaking Bad probably about 4 or 5 times
Me
now
too.
through.
Seriously,
And
me
you
too.
always find something like new about
Yeah.
Breaking Bad because it's like Vince Gilligan
Yep.
is such like a master show creator, and it's like everything like even down to like what they're wearing,
Right.
like has some sort of like value in the show. It's crazy. I love Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Plus, Bryan Cranston's one of my favorite actors of all time.
incredible.
Loved him in Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah.
Loved Malcolm in the Middle too. But Breaking Bad's probably my favorite TV show.
Nice.
Amazing, just amazing story.
So you're a big fan of. So you know that Jesse Pinkman was supposed to be killed off in the first season.
Yes,
That was the original
yes.
thing. And do you remember? Do you know who was supposed to be? That was a protagonist. I think that's the word, right? You go to college, right?
Like the good guy or the bad guy?
The bad guy.
Oh, antagonist.
Antagonist. See, good thing I asked you. All right. But yeah. So Aaron Paul was supposed to be killed off. It was supposed to be Tuco.
Oh,
But he got a show where he was the main star. So they killed him off.
really?
Yeah.
Well, I think it all worked out in the
Yeah,
end because
totally.
Jesse Pinkman is like one of the best characters
Yes.
in all of like film, cinema, television.
Yeah.
Amazing. Second, maybe to Bob Odenkirk's Better Call Saul character.
So good. So good.
Yeah. Do you watch Better Call
Of
Saul?
course,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Better Call Saul is also just amazing television.
Yeah.
Might actually Breaking Bad's good, but Better Call Saul might just kind of have an edge in it.
Yeah.
Just maybe a little.
Maybe.
I'm not sure.
I love the scene where Saul had his buddy laying in the alley.
Yeah.
And they stole his watch. And that was classic stuff,
Dude.
man.
What a worker, honestly.
Yeah. So might as well ask you this then. I also loved The Wire in The Shield. Did you ever watch that?
So I've never watched either, but I've heard really good things about
really
them.
should. They're that good.
The Wire, I've heard such good things about that. That's one of the shows I kind of want to get into. Right now, I just started Queen's Gambit. Have you heard of Queen's
No.
Gambit? It's a chess. I love chess. So it's a chess show.
Yeah.
It's about it's like from a novel about like a amazing like grandmaster chess player that's like a girl, and she was like an orphan, and she's got like drug problems and alcohol problems, but man, can she play the board. So it's just kind of following that. I just started that. It's on Netflix, limited series, like 7 episodes.
I'll have to check it out because I got Netflix. Right now I'm watching Cobra Kai.
I've heard good things, but I haven't touched it yet,
all
so
right.
we'll see.
What's a must-watch show? If you would tell someone you have to watch this.
A must-watch show. I want to say Breaking Bad,
Yeah.
but Monday Night Raw, must watch.
All right.
I grew up on Monday Night
Right.
Raw, but it probably is Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad is must watch.
How about can you surprise me with the TV show that you watch that I'd be like, really?
Have you ever heard of Below Deck Med?
No.
Oh my God. So it's like a reality show where they follow like a yacht cruise liner ship,
Yeah.
and they do like private charters for all these like rich and famous people, and it's just following around the crew throughout the whole season. They what's the word? They chart around in like the Mediterranean Sea, and it's just like all these like awful people just working on a boat together, and it's like you're stuck in one place for like however many months with these people. Like they get in so many fights. It's like just trashy reality TV show. I love it.
Nice. All right. Excellent. I also do a segment that my friend Dan Bolio does on Let the Freedom Ring, his show up at Merrimack TV. It's called Blank versus Blank. So you're just going to pick one or the other.
Okay.
Seth Rollins, Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels.
Okay.
100%. Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart. Bret Hart.
All right.
yeah.
All right. How about AEW or NXT? That's really tough.
I
'cause
know.
They're both awesome.
That is tough. I'm probably gonna have to say NXT, but AEW kind of, you don't know what you're gonna get with AEW, and
Right.
that almost makes it kind of like, I'm not a huge fan of everything I see on it.
Right.
Where I know is if I tuned into NXT, I'm gonna enjoy almost everything.
Yeah.
But like, they're like a wild card that I really like, just want to tune in and watch.
Yeah, me too. I do. I love both companies, but I watch NXT live,
Yeah.
and then watch it off the DVR. So it's
Plus,
definitely NXT
August,
for me.
you got to support August Gray.
Oh, come on, man. AG.
Yeah.
All right, last one. Drew McIntyre or Kenny Omega?
McIntyre. He's got that kind of Nigel McGuinness build and
Yeah.
like that killer seriousness that I've never been like a huge Kenny Omega guy,
Yep.
but like Drew McIntyre, oh man, that's one hard hitting bad MO.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right. So why don't we play the name game?
Okay.
All right. So first name I'm going to bring up is Teddy Goods.
Teddy Goods. Teddy Goods. A rival. I want to be better than Teddy Goods. That's 100% of the fact. I wrestled him at Top Rope. I wrestled him in my debut match at Beyond. We did a summer barbecue, and I'm challenging him to a push-up contest, and he's cheating because he's not doing full reps for push-ups. He's a competitor.
Yeah.
And I like Teddy, but I want to be better than him. I want to be a competitor too. Teddy, I'm coming for you, brother. I'm coming for you.
All right.
Do push-ups regularly, bro. You don't half rep Teddy. Full push-ups, my man.
All right. So we talked about him a little bit. Nico Silva.
Once another animal, just a competitor, a guy that when you get in the ring with him, you want to step up your A game to you want to match him or even be better than him. He's a true natural too. And he is just massive. He's like 250 and just hits hard, hits quick. Former football player, just moves he's like a former linebacker and just moves like a linebacker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Your tag team partner, BRG.
Brett, Ryan, Gosselin.
Yep, the Canadians fan.
The Canadians fan. BRG, I love the kid to death. We're going to be a great tag team. We just need to get on. We see eye to eye.
Yep.
We just got to start working more. We just got to get together more, I think. We try and FaceTime. Like I said, we try and FaceTime twice a week.
Right. And watch matches and stuff.
We just got to keep building that chemistry, in my opinion.
Right. Okay, great.
Hit the gym, Brett.
Matt Taven.
So I worked out with Taven and Vinny, like I said earlier.
So if you want to combine them, he was the next name.
Okay, yeah, perfect. We'll combine them. Taven and Vinny, they're awesome, man. They are 100% awesome. They're great teachers, great coaches. They really know the little things.
Right.
I mean, they've both been on TV for however long.
Right, and they've both been around a long time.
Exactly. So definitely just Taven actually said it himself. It's tan, curly hair, bejeweled gear. He's looking at the mirror. That's what he said about me. So maybe I'm probably not the next Matt Taven because I don't follow trends.
Yep.
I like to be my own man, but hey, maybe next Ring of Honor World Champion. Who knows?
Nice. Did you happen to see the match where he won the Ring of Honor title at Madison Square
Yes,
Garden? Isn't that incredible?
Me, Drew, and Jason Daniels went and we went to Madison Square Garden to watch it live.
Oh wow! Well, I knew Ryan. I don't think I asked him who else he was.
Yeah,
wow.
we drove to New York, parked the car in Madison Square. Yeah. What a feeling! It was the G1 Supercard, so it was that in New Japan. So in they do the Honor Rumble,
right?
And at the end of the Honor Rumble, it's I think it was Jushin Thunder Liger and
wasn't it Brian Malonis?
No,
did they do something in the Battle Royal though? I think he did something with Malonis.
I was gonna say Vinny and TK kind of squared off and had this crazy unbelievable moment with the Great Muda and Jushin Thunder Liger, and it's just chills are running down your spine, and it's whoa. And then of course Matt Taven's in there with Marty Scurll and Jay Lethal, who were at the top of their game at the time, and he brings out this ginormous purple ladder, and it's just wow, winning the Ring of Honor World Championship at Madison Square Garden.
It doesn't get any better unless you win it in your hometown.
It doesn't get any better. The Mecca of professional wrestling.
Yep.
So much history in Madison Square Garden, and just to kind of be a small chapter in that history is amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. And it was awesome to watch live. It was incredible to watch live.
Excellent. All right, Christian Casanova, top talent.
Top talent. So like I said, he also he works out at XWA too. He's a guy that I get to watch, and that's just, he is another guy kind of like Nico, where you watch them and you're just dude, I want to be as good as this guy. I want to work as hard as this guy. I want to be in the ring with this guy. Because if you're in the ring with the top talent, what does that make you?
Right.
Top talent.
Absolutely.
So I would love to get in the ring with Christian Casanova again. And I'd love to just show, I'd love to show a lot of people that I'm just not the same person anymore.
Right.
I was a kid, kind of a dumb kid, and now I feel like a grown adult. I'm a man. And I just can't wait for this pandemic to end so I can show the whole world like what Channing Thomas is about.
Nice. All right. Travis Gillette.
Travis. Amazing body, super athletic, good wrestler. I would love to, I don't know. I'd love to like kick him in the ass. I haven't seen him in forever. I haven't heard from him forever.
Right.
I would love to just give him like one in the pants and be like, what are you doing, man? You know, cause he's got it. He's got it. He's got the look. He's got the it factor.
Yeah.
And you just want to kind of like shake him.
Right.
I wish he would come out more, kind of like, I wish he'd get back into wrestling because I honestly, I mean, a lot of things are kind of weird right now. I understand that, but I haven't like heard from him, like not a text or anything. And he's a cool kid, and I would like, I mean, the world is just in the palm of his hands, and you kind of just, you can't want it for him, you know?
Absolutely. This guy's got one of the best names in wrestling, Caesar Leo.
Baby.
Kid is put together.
Baby. Bodybuilding Jesus.
Oh,
Flex 2.0.
I think he's got a 12-pack.
I mean, well, he's dedicated though.
Right, he is.
Because at training, he pulls out his meals. It's like, what do you get today, Caesar? He's like, I got chicken and broccoli. It's like, what'd you have yesterday? He's like, I got chicken and broccoli.
Yeah.
He's got the staples. Like, I mean, and that's why he looks the way he is, because he's a bodybuilder. He was a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
And he looks great. And he's a good dude too. I love it. Caesar's awesome.
Talented kid. All right, we've got like little less than a minute and a half. How about you want to say Anthony Green?
Retro August Gray.
Yeah.
Retro AG. He's awesome. He texted me after my Vacationland match, which was awesome. Talked to me about just some things we could do differently. You know, AG is like, he should be what everyone kind of strives to be in wrestling. Because like, you know, he's not like juiced to the gills, but he like worked hard. He traveled. He got out there. He put himself out there. He reinvented himself.
Yes.
And he is like reaping the fruits of his labor. And you know, a lot of people used to like kind of make fun of him and bully him from what I understand when he was a little kid. And he just he dealt with all the BS.
Right.
And now he's living his dream. And you can't be more happy for a person like that.
Absolutely. It was great. And he's on TV already, like so fast.
He's going to be in the Dusty Cup with Kurt Stallion, which is awesome.
That is so cool.
Congratulations, congratulations, August.
Yes. August Gray.
August Gray.
All right, we got less than 20 seconds. You want to plug your social media?
You can follow the Chan Facts, Chan Thomas Pro on Instagram, Twitter, and I'm just on Channing Thomas on Facebook. So, hey. That's natural. Be natural.
All right, look him up.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, buddy.
It was a pleasure.
Care. Peace.
Woo!
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.